So I've had a slight obsession with the last few weeks over getting into my old Myspace account. Finally, a few days ago, I did. What I wanted to get a hold of most was not the blogs or the status updates or the bulletins that I had posted all those years ago. I was actually glad that those got erased and weren't anywhere to be found, for the most part. I wanted, for one, the pictures, and then the feeling, that nostalgia of that time. Because pictures are a sly way of relieving the burden of a retreating memory as time goes on. When I started my Myspace page, social media was barely a thing. Facebook was years away. When I was starting high school in 2006, Myspace was the place to be. Perhaps you remember, perhaps you don't. I have a feeling if you're old enough you do. Or if you're young enough, because old people didn't have MySpaces back in the day. Either way, here's what it was. You built a profile page with themes and backgrounds, and you wrote a puffy profile biography of yourself. Like Facebook, other users could comment on your page or your wall. Also listed in your profile was a list of your top friends. They had options for top 4, top 8. These were your closest homies, man. It was so psychologically damaging back in the day because everybody's true feelings for one another were just out there, and we were all vying for each other's top spaces. You know, one thing about MySpace that Facebook has kind of upgraded? So if you wanted to get new notifications on your MySpace page to see whoever commented on your photo or liked something you posted, you had to literally refresh the page. Nowadays, it's something that Facebook does automatically. My friend Kendra used to call this the refresh game. Anyway, I went in there, I grabbed the photos of me from almost 10 years ago. The only indications that I even existed back then in this weird world. Growing up and trying to attract girls with these awful photos. I found pictures of old friends that I don't really talk to anymore. But the memories are so important to me, and I'm glad I was able to relive them, because I'd forgotten about them entirely. Another awesome thing about MySpace, which Facebook lacks, is the ability to embed music on your page. Sure, on Facebook you could post a YouTube video of a song, but a lot of amazing bands were discovered through the use of MySpace. Just click on someone's profile and their profile song played. The soundtrack to them lately. In 2009, there was some great migration from MySpace to Facebook. I'm not really sure why it happened, but Facebook was initially conceived as for college kids, and thus Facebook became the dominant social media, because that's what we wanted to portray on social media growing up, that we were cool, and of course, fun, deserving of more love. Trolls were also not really understood back then, you know? I remember there was this one person on MySpace named Rachel. She'd hit on me, and then when I tried to make plans with her in person, she'd be evasive, and then eventually she just disappeared entirely. Back then, I was alienated and lonely, desperate for a girl in my life. And given the context of it being just the beginning of the social media days, plus my infinite naivete, I don't think I conceived of the idea that this Rachel person was a troll, someone just fucking with me. But looking back and seeing that the profile name is listed under Rachel Poophead, it's safe to say that I was had. I miss those MySpace days, but it wasn't the fact that they were just MySpace days. I don't know. In fact, I wish I could relive them so I could spend less time on MySpace and maybe more time on school or interacting with the friends that I had back then, outside of social media. It's like now I'm acclimated to this paradigm where it's normal to be on social media all the time, and I don't like it. And maybe because I'm older, I'm not as open to discovering new music. I hardly ever go to concerts. I mean, come on, I live in New Orleans. That's a travesty. My younger MySpace era self would be pissed at me for. Anyway, my account got deleted from disuse like everybody else's because we were on Facebook. Yet it was awesome and really lucky that I was able to catch a slight glimpse of the person I used to be. And so many old songs that I hadn't listened to in a long time coming back into rotation. Here's some of the music that was on my profile for a time. It was a period in my life where I was most influenced by the music that I like now, and I don't think I'll ever be as susceptible to bands again. It's an age thing. Like, once you find your favorite bands, they just seem to stay with you for the rest of your life, and you can't seem to find anything to top that. But more than that, as a totality, scant remnants of my identity are there. Parts of me that I'd forgotten existed. I used to be way into Southern culture, making these stupid and passively racist jokes, all of it just rubbing off on me in a bad way now. It's the kind of behavior I don't tolerate now. But at the time, 10 years ago, all I had was white friends and there was no diversity. Thank goodness by the time I was in high school, that changed. I knew a diverse group of people, male, female, black, Asian, Spanish, and I connected with people who weren't exactly like me, but I still got along great with. My teenage self was once entirely me, and now it's hardly who I am. Anyway, which one of you guys had a MySpace page? What do you remember? Leave a comment below to tell me of any awesome MySpace anecdotes. And if you enjoyed the content, please subscribe to this channel and check out my website where you can get one of my books for free.